everyone. I am your host, Olivia Cohen, coming in live with my co-host today,
Chip Reis.
Chip Reis. We are coming in live from the Studio B here at the Hebrew Home, our new studio. And this is Good Morning Hebrew Home. Today is Thursday, March 25th, and the time is 10:33 a.m. We have a great show planned for you today. A little later, Chip will share some wonderful images of great women in history. But first, let's get into the weather. Let's take a look at the weather in our neck of the woods. Chip, have you had a chance to look outside and see the weather today?
They open the curtains and I know it's sunshine.
You know, it's sunshine, yeah.
That's good.
So today there'll be areas of patchy fog early. It looks like it's clearing up a little bit. Cloudy skies early, but it looks like it's clearing up a little bit. And then partly cloudy this afternoon. Temperatures will be high, 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So it's going to be a good day, I think.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Let's move to this day in history, March 25th, 1934. The first Augusta National Invitation Tournament, Masters. This is golf. Horton Smith wins a 20-foot birdie putt at the 17th hole, one stroke ahead of Craig Wood. Do you know anything about golf, Chip?
I'm not too much of a golfer. My brother took me out one time on New Year's Day.
Uh-huh.
Coldest day of the year, I think.
That sounds like a cold day.
I was kicking the ball around. It was terrible. But anyway, that was the last time I played.
That was the first of the last?
Yeah, pretty much.
1954. RCA manufactures the first color TV set at 12.5-inch screen, and it cost $1,000. That's a lot of money for now and for back then.
Sure.
Wow.
I won't pay that much. Yeah. Get cable and everything.
2014, 12-year-old Katie Francis from Oklahoma City broke the Girl Scout record for cookie sales. She sold 18,107 boxes of cookies over a total of 7 weeks. The previous record had been set in the 1980s and was for 18,000 boxes. The selling season was extended by a week, and Katie had stated she hoped that she could sell up to 20,000 boxes.
Well, at least she didn't eat up the profits.
Yeah. Do you like Girl Scout cookies?
Thin Mints.
Thin Mints are your faves?
Oh, yeah.
How about you, Allison?
I like the, I think they're called Dositos. They're the peanut butter patty ones. They're the best.
Yep. Man, Girl Scout cookies will really get you.
I wonder who's selling them this year.
If they're gonna, I think they figured out a way. They must have.
They're selling them.
They're selling.
Yeah.
Okay, word has it, everybody. Allison, breaking news. Girl Scout cookies are being sold.
Yes, indeed.
Let's move into our national days. So, today is National Lobster Newburgh Day, which is celebrated on March 25th. It ushers in a celebration worthy of a sea captain. It's an American seafood dish. I did not know this. Lobster Newburgh includes lobster, butter, cream, cognac, sherry, eggs, and cayenne pepper. Have you ever had lobster Newburgh?
No, I haven't. No, I don't. I mean,
Allison's
I've been to
nodding.
Newburgh twice.
You went to Newburgh twice, and you didn't have lobster
No,
Newburgh.
no.
Well, it actually started at Delmonico's in New York.
Yeah.
That's what I heard
I wish we could have gone there.
from what I read. So today's Lobster Newburgh Day. Lobster Newburgh is not on the menu for today, so we will not be celebrating here. It's also National Medal of Honor Day. So it's a day that recognizes all Medal of Honor recipients. And it's also something that's celebrated around the world on March 25th is Tolkien Reading Day. Is a favorite among fans of renowned author J.R.R. Tolkien. J.R.R. Tolkien was born in 1892, and he was an English writer, poet, and university professor. He was best known as the author of the classic works The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings. And he has published more than 30 books. And the author has sold more than 150 million copies of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and that number continues to grow. So it's a good day for reading that book too. I read it in middle school, The Hobbit.
That's fascinating.
Did you see the movies?
Yeah, I did. What's crazy about the movie, I like the book better.
You like the book better than the movies? I've heard that from people a lot.
Yeah.
Birthdays. Moving on to birthdays for today. Resident birthdays, we have Laura G., Michael D., Gloria C., and Armand K. So happy birthday to our residents out there.
Right.
Staff birthdays, we had a bunch. We had Chikuma from food service, Lydia from the housekeeping department, Kathleen from nursing, Linda from therapeutic arts and enrichment programs.
Oh, Linda.
I know. Happy birthday, Linda. And Nicholas from the housekeeping department. So happy birthday to all our staff.
Elton John.
Our famous birthday for today, Elton John. Born, his name was Reginald Kenneth Dwight, and he was born in Middlesex, England. What is he known for? What is he not known for? Yeah. He's an English singer-songwriter, composer, and pianist who has had hits in the charts since 1970 with his first hit song was Your Song. I love that song.
I can't sing it.
Over the next 40 years, he had a large number of hits, with the last being in 2009, Tiny Dancer, Hold Me Closer. And probably his best-known top 10 singles over the 40-year period include Rocket Man, Crocodile Rock, Daniel, Candle in the Wind, Benny and the Jets, Pinball Wizard, Don't Go Breaking My Heart with Kiki D, I'm Still Standing.
I'm Still Standing.
Better than I ever did. Can You Feel the Love Tonight, which was in The Lion King. And doesn't matter which generation you are from, you have more than likely grown up to listening to his music. Billboard magazine ranked him as the most successful male solo artist on the Billboard Hot 100 Top All-Time Artists. He was third overall, behind only the Beatles and Madonna. The awards he has gained during these years is also a testament to his music, including Academy Awards, Golden Globe, Tony Award, and multiple Grammys, from humble beginnings as a pub pianist to one of the music superstars of the modern era shows not only his talent, but his commitment to his art. From webmaster, I mean, he's just amazing. He has done so much. And looking back at those songs, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's not happening.
And he was also a close friend of Diana, Princess of Wales, which was the song Candle in the Wind in 1997. It became a fastest and biggest selling single of all time.
He was very versatile. He could adapt from the one about Marilyn Monroe, too.
Oh, right.
He made that song, yeah.
A lot of songs out there. So he has done so much. And that song, the proceeds from that song went to the Diana, Princess of Wales Memorial Fund.
Oh, Aretha.
And another birthday for today, another one I'm going to talk a lot about, Aretha Franklin. She was born in 1942 in Memphis, Tennessee. She started out as a gospel singer. This Queen of Soul's 6-decade-long career has made Franklin one of the most influential and important voices in history. Some of her best-known works include Respect, I Never Loved a Man the Way I Love You, and A Rose is Still a Rose. And as the first female artist to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987, Franklin currently holds 18 Grammy Awards and was ranked first on the Rolling Stones list of the greatest singers of all time. So that's a great birthday for Women's History Month, as also being the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
They had a real nifty program on the PBS the other night called Aretha Genius.
Wow.
Showed her father was very much against her singing in church. because she was singing popular stuff.
Right.
And he didn't like it, but worked out well for her.
Wow. You caught it? I heard a bit about it, and I didn't
Yeah,
get
it
to
was
catch
great.
it yet. So something to look into on PBS. What was it called again?
Aretha Genius.
Aretha Genius. Check it out.
They'll have reruns on it.
Good. That sounds like a good one. So happy birthday to everyone. Let's see what food service is cooking up for us today. Our entree for lunch today will be hot dog on a roll, baked beans, sauerkraut, and dessert will be pineapples. And dinner will be tomato couscous soup. And entree will be fish and chips, coleslaw, and dessert will be coffee, ice cream. So enjoy your meals, everybody. And that moves us to our next portion of today. I'm going to let Chip kind of introduce what we're going to be showing everybody today. But I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
As always.
Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
Of course.
And it's sort of a joint project because we did something together in the transition.
Right.
Well, the original pictures on the board was a wave, the idea of a wave. And the wave going from, if you know, we're over at the other building, I think it's
In the
GP Main.
Oh, GP Main, right.
And it was really great because I just started at one end, well, actually started in the middle, with a picture of Cheryl Polydor. Now, who's Cheryl Polydor? Cheryl Polydor, if you see where the blue is,
Right there.
that's my sister-in-law, God love her. She passed away in 2016. But before she did that, about a year or so before, she ended up working with AARP and produced a bill that she sent to, along with them, sent to the Washington City Council, I believe. Mike can straighten me out on that one. But it's a tribute to her because I started with her and then suddenly I thought, well, you know, why keep it just to her? Look at all the other people. Harriet Tubman down at the bottom. And Kamala Harris up top. And next to Kamala is Shirley Chisholm, from our own state of New York, who ran for the first black woman to run for president. And then there's Letitia James, who's the current Attorney General.
That's amazing, Chip. Did you already have them right next to each other like that?
It happened.
That's so interesting.
That's like...
You foresaw that many years ago.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So just to give the people context, right? It started with this image right here. And you would go to the computer room here and print out images and cut them out.
Hop on Wikipedia, cut them out. Sometimes I had to go off of Wikipedia because it didn't have the right image.
Right.
It was too small. Some of them are small. That didn't mean that they're...
Yeah, some of them are super tiny.
None of them are any less important. But, and my girl, Michelle.
Michelle. And so you would print out images, cut them out, and you would paste them on your wall.
Yeah.
And so you had kind of like a wave.
Around from the balcony area, the door there, all the way across to where the bookcase are.
It was one whole wall of your
wall, yeah.
your
And
room.
kept adding to it, which I'm going to continue to do here. You know, every time I hear about another woman that's important and to be admired, I want to put her up there.
That's great.
So I'm starting to do more of that.
And so
they come from all walks of life. They're from entertainment, of course,
right.
politics, history. There's Susan B. Anthony up there. I read it in Mama Cass. How do you figure that one out? And so there's no rhyme or reason to them. They just put together.
Right.
Harriet Tubman and Harriet Nelson.
And they were on a wall. And then when you had to move your room, we were like, oh gosh.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons they didn't want to move.
What are we going to do?
Yeah, but then good old Liv stepped into the business.
And we put them on individual boards. and now they're in your room on these boards. So we're basically sharing with everybody all these images that are on 6 different boards in Chip's room that he's been collecting, just images of all these women in history. So that's great.
Like I say, they range from all different walks of life.
Right.
And it was not so much just for their talent or the fact that I liked their looks, which I did, some of them. But some of them were very important. There's Rosa Parks up there on the bus.
Right.
And different ones. So I really felt I wanted to honor them somehow. And in doing that, I wanted to honor Cheryl because she was very much in tune with, women advancing and doing what they should do. And
So it all started with Cheryl.
yeah.
Yeah. Should we look at the next board?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Here you have Maya Angelou. I wanted to see if I could read a quote from her.
Okay.
I don't know if I can read that.
Which one? The one in green?
Yeah.
Do you want me to read it?
Would you?
Sure.
Appreciate it.
So the quote is, "A woman in harmony with her spirit is like a river flowing."
I got that one. I had to put it in the center because it seemed like the proper thing.
Right.
So, I'd like to invite anybody that would like to come see these to give me a call. That's 718-304-9410. 718-304-9410. So please, give me a call before you come up. And I'd say any time of day, but no other night, but don't do that. Give me a call, that way we can set it up if you want to see them firsthand. And I thank Liv for her help in the whole business. But let's go back to some of the other people here. You have Eleanor Roosevelt, whom I never met, but I felt like I did because she was such a crusader for rights, not just women's rights. Because on this, I don't know if this one or the next one, you see a picture of Marian Anderson. Marian Anderson was a black contralto opera singer who basically did that and did things like Amazing Grace, which everybody does, and a lot of other things. And but she had a powerful voice and a real powerful message, but they wouldn't accept her. They didn't want her to sing a constitutional home. And she also ended up singing at the Martin Luther King event in '63 in Washington. The bottom of that page says, "Celebrate great women."
Yeah, I see that right at the bottom.
That came from the booklet of the stuff that PBS is doing. And I think it's important to know that's what we're doing with these. Down at the bottom there, see that crowd of people in the color picture.
This picture right here.
That's the All Saints, part of the All Saints Choir, Robert Station. And let's see, and then there's Toni Morrison right in the middle with her big old smile. And Hattie McDaniels over there on the side, next to Sophia Loren and Rue McClanahan and Kate Smith. And
It's really amazing, Chip. I mean, it's like going to a museum and standing in front of a piece of artwork that you could just look at each and every corner. There's something wonderful to take in.
And also you have to be ready to memorize them all because there'll be a quiz when you finish.
Oh, wow. There's a quiz when we're finished.
Not really, actually.
How long did it take you, would you say, to get to the place where you had all these images?
I think it took about 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah, it was actually.
Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
It
I
looks...
just kept churning them out.
Yeah.
Go down there and do about 50 at a time. Back up and cut them. And it was a good effort.
Wow.
And worth it. Yeah, there's my Aunt Della Reese and Susan Rice. Her,
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn. A couple of them had musketeer ears. They were my old, I went back to the old days, the old
Yeah. I mean, you have generations here.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
More in there, and Pat Nixon. And some of them I just applauded because of their perseverance. Like Pat Nixon and there are ones like that. There's Renee Fleming.
Renee Fleming, great opera singer.
There's a gal, what's her name? The Indian person, Indonesian.
Padma Lakshmi?
Yeah. From Top Chef.
Top Chef, yeah, that's right.
I remember that.
Now, do you know the backgrounds of all of these women? Like they're a little bit about something of each of them?
I have a thumbnail sketch, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that Audrey Hepburn was on the previous one.
Uh-huh.
She had later on in her life worked to help eliminate landmines in parts of Africa.
Wow.
Who knew?
And you learned that as you were doing your process of finding these images and adding them onto the wall.
But I also made a big mistake. I didn't read the whole thing on each of them. I should have taken my time and done that. But I was kind of in a hurry.
That's a lot of information.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you took in a bit of everybody.
I did. Just felt, I was trying to think.
That's amazing.
No, center stage there is my mom and dad.
That's your mom and dad.
Yeah, I had to get them. I had to get my mom up there.
Wow.
Dad came along with a package. And the lady in the yellow sweater next to them, her name is Gernani is her last name, South African, who now works over at Fordham University with the elderly priest.
Wow.
She's a nurse. And so you CNAs. It can be done. There's Ann B. Davis, Schulte from the Brady Bunch.
Oh, right.
And
Is that the mother from Bewitched next to her?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's Agnes Moorehead.
That's right.
And then there's, what's her name? Oh, heck.
Amazing.
Nancy Wilson. And a bunch of,
I mean, this really all encompasses Women's History Month.
yeah, kind of gets everybody, almost. And the others I still want to put up there, Ida B. Wells, who was from the last century. She's very important to know because she was against the lynching business that was going on mostly in the South. She stood up firm against that. Some of them were multi-causes,
Right.
you know.
And I think we have one last board.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Venus and Serena.
Venus and Serena.
Whoopi Goldberg. And Shirley Jones, who was in every possible movie you can imagine. And Julie Andrews. And Olivia de Havilland.
That's who I'm named after.
And, I figured. And Lena Horne.
I see Diana Ross over here.
Yeah, she's hanging in. And one of them, the little picture next to Julie, is the main one. My main best supervisor I've had. That was at Goodwill Industries. And she just was, I was at her wedding, she invited me to her wedding.
So it's people in history, it's people in pop culture, it's celebrities, and people who you know, women who you know who were in your life.
There's
Lucy and Ethel. I just caught that one.
Hepburn.
Amazing.
There's girl Scarlett from Gone with the Wind.
That's amazing. So we have a few more minutes left. Chip, is there any few last couple of things that you want to say about these boards or tell the folks?
I was afraid that this wouldn't work out too well, but it works out even better because you can spread across the longer portion.
Yeah.
And the other part is Forbes magazine is coming out with, it won't come out till June, which is kind of unfortunate. But you can even put nominations in. Forbes magazine is doing a program called 50 Over 50. 50 important women who made an impact on society who are over 50. Now all these people are not over 50, but most of them are.
Right.
And but that should be interesting when it gets out there on the stand.
That'd be very interesting, yeah, definitely. So that's coming out in Forbes magazine in
Probably in June.
June.
End of May or June.
End of May or June, and it's 50 over 50. 50 women specifically?
Yeah.
Over 50.
The subtitle is Know Your Value.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I have to thank you, Chip, for joining us today and for bringing these boards. Also, it was your great idea to have the boards, take pictures of them, and put them up on the screen. It was really great because everyone could kind of zoom in and get some of the pictures up close on their TVs. It's just wonderful. I love that you worked on that project, and it was just something that you worked on your own. And thank you for sharing it with us.
Sure.
And it was something I know so special, and I know it meant so much for you, especially when we had to move it to a different location, and we wanted to keep them safe.
We just had a speed record.
We did speed record, and I'm glad that we were able to really preserve this great project that you worked on yourself. It's wonderful. So
it was a kick doing it too.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you're continuing it. I'm glad to hear that, and you'll have to keep us tuned into what's going on with that project.
Sometimes after Forbes comes out, I'll be able to take another look at it.
Yes, absolutely. So, Chip, do you want to let people know, because we're going to have you back on at some point, do you want to give a little sneak peek about what we're going to talk about the next time that you come back on?
I'm going to continue the topic of Baltimore.
Right.
We talked a bit about some of the places in Baltimore last time, how they've changed a bit, this and that. I want to talk more about some of the menus you'd find, some of the good stuff to eat.
Some of the good. We're going to talk about food.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's only crab cakes. Well, it is. But even judging off of that, it's the steamed crabs. You don't mind hammering and tinkering with them.
Definitely.
It's also the Smithfield ham and crab sauteed. Crab salad, crab dip, all kinds of things you can do with it. They're equally good. And they're so easy to get. You can do it at home, and sometimes some of the crab restaurants are failing. They're not going so well. Phillips is one. Faley's is another. But at Faley's, you might go up to Lexington Market to have lunch, and that's a good place to have it. Lexington Market is a huge market. People 2 blocks away from Camden Yards and the M&T Bank Stadium. But I don't know. I think it would be better to go in the supermarket and get genuine lump crab.
Well, that sounds good. We'll talk all about that the next time you're on. So everyone, stay tuned
I look forward to it.
for the Food of Baltimore episode that we'll have with my special co-host Chip here.
Good eats from the streets.
Good eats for the. Did you just come up with that now?
I knew about that one.
Oh, okay. That was a great one. Chip, I want to thank you for joining us today. As always, please feel free to give us a call. Anything you'd like to share on the show, you can do so by just picking up any phone here at the home and dialing 2813. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave us a comment, hit that like button, or hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Remember to tune in to Channel 8 later today. We have Wellness with Deborah at 1:30, On a Musical Note with Peter at 2:30, and on our stream channel, that's Channel 88, we have 4 o'clock, DeRope Presents Music Appreciation. At 6:30, you can catch this episode again of Good Morning Hebrew Home. And tonight's movie at 7 o'clock will be Real Women Have Curves. This is the story of a first-generation Mexican-American girl and her passage to womanhood. Although she wants to go away to college, she must battle against the views of her parents who would think she should stay home and provide for the family. As a compromise, she works with her mother in a sewing factory over the summer and learns some important lessons about life, helping her make a decision about her future. That's our show for today. Thank you all for joining us once again. This has been Olivia Cohen and
Chip Reis
with Good Morning Hebrew Home. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, same channel. Cohen and
Reis
out.
Who sings that, Larry? What's that?